Good morning. Welcome back after Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. It was crazy, right? Last night, you were like, hey, are we going to pre-show? I was like, oh, yeah.
I know.
The show's tomorrow.
I think our audience forgot about that, too.
Not
Everybody's
some of them.
in Monday mode.
Thank you for those
Tuesday.
Lockpotters that are actually
we appreciate
signed on and listening.
We appreciate this audience, and I'm sure people will pick up. But, yeah, happy 3-day weekend. Welcome back. The somber Memorial Day weekend.
Always, yeah, for sure.
It was wonderful in our part of the country.
Beautiful. It picked up.
It was all right. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was better than the East Coast where it was like winter weather.
Which is what we got midweek.
Yeah.
45 and rainy.
But it's supposed to get nice this week. So over here in the Midwest, I know if you're listening in Arizona or California.
It's already nice because it's always nice.
Yeah, you're like in fire weather already.
Ooh, I hope not.
Wow. That's a new season now, fire season.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Name it. It's like fall, winter. No, they don't have winter.
Yeah.
Spring, fire season, fall.
The seasons with Kevin Smith. You could just do this all day.
What do they call winter in Arizona? Is it still winter?
Oh, yeah, they call it winter. Yeah, hey, I was listening to the radio on the way in. I have a sick fascination with WMCD. I listen to it just so I can get some material when we get on air.
The little terrestrial radio station in our corner of the world.
Yeah, so, by the way, it was like 1 year ago that we signed off our long-running show.
You're right.
It was like a year ago, almost to the day.
And you were like, F this, let's start a podcast.
Well, yeah, it took me a little bit. But yeah, I mean, no, we did say that. And I remember you and I knew that was our last show, but that the host did not. And then we sort of let on after the show was over that was it. Because I said goodbye to everybody. And then he's like, hey, why are you saying goodbye to the audience? Because we're done, dude. Because we're out of here because you're an asshole. So, but anyway, I was listening to it, and the dictator of WMCD, there was a caller calling in, and the dictator was like trying to insert his opinion into the caller's opinion, and the caller kept talking. And this is a well-known caller, MM, for those of you, but it was funny. So the owner of the station sitting there listening to him, and he started screaming at him on the air. I'm freaking driving in on him, screaming. He's like, this is my station. Whoa. I'm going to do what I want. I'm like, good God, why do people listen to this crap? Like, he was literally like screaming at him. The caller's like, take it easy, dude. It's like, why do people listen to that crap? I mean,
it's like a backyard hillbilly barbecue or something.
It is, dude. I'm like,
Happy Memorial Day.
Well, welcome back.
Yell at your relatives.
Like screaming at the top of his lungs. I'm like, geez, oh, Pete. Like, why do people listen to this shit? Like, it's ridiculous.
But you have much better options. Like, for example, this podcast.
You can listen to this podcast. We're nice and calm.
Which we wonder sometimes why people listen to this, too.
We're good for the blood pressure, though.
Are we?
Just sit back and listen to Kevin talk about the seasons. Right?
Backyard Hillbilly Barbecue. That's in the running for the show title.
Is that
today.
Backyard Hillbilly Barbecue? Right off the bat.
Yeah.
That's good.
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Hey, John. Welcome back.
Linz.
I'm glad you created that shared note last night because that's the first time I realized tomorrow was Tuesday.
John, when he texted me, he's like, hey, are we pre-showing? I was like, oh, shit.
I know, right?
I guess it is Tuesday tomorrow.
Well, LMP and I were together last night.
Oh.
I like LMP. It's
Celebrating
Some people will call you the lump. They'll call you the lump, though.
I don't think a single person besides you.
That's great.
That's why you have to put Notorious LMP.
That's right.
Or else they're like, the lump?
Lump?
Are you the
Limp?
Lamp.
Lamp. No.
I love lamp.
I love lamp.
too.
Lump. Lamp.
There she
Lamp.
is. There you are.
There's LMP. There's no good word that could come out of LMP. Limp. Lump.
Lamp.
Lamp is so like blah.
Lamp's like the
Lamp. What's your name? I'm Lamp.
Lamp's the top.
Hey, Lamp. What's up?
Lamp is the
highest it goes. It's limp or lump. It's like Notorious LMP. I think we got to stick with that. It's long, but it's good.
It's impressive.
It's incredibly awesome.
Yeah,
yes,
it is.
I created
I'm going to
it,
replay that show. By the way, it was my.
No, it was my idea. 100%.
No, you're mistaken. I listened.
See,
to
every
old
time
shows.
I have a good idea, Dad's like, "Oh yeah, I came up with
I did it.
You know what's funny? I was listening to a lot of our old shows, Kevin.
Yes.
You remember like the first few episodes where there was no microphone for John and Lindsay?
Yeah.
They were great shows. They were. Like I miss the old times. Back when
we
I
were
go,
quiet.
I would like talk to Lindsay and then like the audience would not hear her.
They wouldn't hear her.
It was way
her
better
back
back
talk.
It was way better back then.
Wow, you're just starting off this work like just hammering into your daughter.
Thanks for coming in nice and early on a Tuesday morning.
I really
after a
loved
weekend.
it when my daughter couldn't be heard. By
I
the
said you and
audience.
John. Let's keep it fair here, okay? When you and John, I'd be like, "Hey, John, blah blah blah," and then you hear John in the background like, it's like, yeah,
I'd love to not have a mic.
Those were. I would love. We could make this happen. By the way.
I like having John.
I liked it a lot better.
What else is Tom going to say?
I know.
Those old shows were great.
He's like, hey, remember when women couldn't vote?
Made fun of me.
The good old days.
Started out making fun of me in the seasons. Then he went to Lindsay. Then he went to you, John. He's going to come back. Maybe some.
It's my show. I can do what I want. Damn it! Shut up.
I think really he was just waiting to do that himself.
That's the
I will do what I want on my
I'm the locomotive.
show. God dang it! This is my show.
The locomotive melts down.
Yeah. Welcome to WMCD, where we scream at you if we don't like you.
Because I'm the owner.
That's right. This is my show.
Love the shirt, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
That's chat.
The T-shirts
Did you
look
ever see
also
them in
brand new
concert?
these days.
Well, like, it's not original. I can promise you that. I did see him in concert. I saw him at William and Mary. I was in the Navy.
No way.
It was one of Kurt Cobain's last shows.
At William and Mary.
Yeah, in Hampton, Virginia.
Very cool.
When it was like
That's where I was
1993.
born.
Yeah, it was, you were
Wow.
amazing.
I existed at that point.
Yeah,
Look at
you
this.
did. It was one of Kurt Cobain's last shows.
Maybe
I bet
Dad
you
took you to the show.
I actually
He
saw
did not.
a couple of concerts in. I forgot somebody else that died right before. Tom Petty. Saw him right before he died
so
too.
did I.
So Kurt Cobain and Tom Petty right before he died. But
Maybe.
All right,
you're
we'll
bad
remember
luck.
that. I was going to say,
You
to
need to
those,
stop
to those-
going to concerts.
speaking of shows, I mean,
Yeah.
to those
Yeah.
bands that are coming to the fest this year, be careful.
Yeah, right.
Tom tends to watch you, right?
Yep.
Well, what do you got?
Speaking
about
of, by the way, the fest, man. Like,
oh my, this is good stuff.
hey, why don't we? You want to do an update on tickets real quick?
Yeah, do it.
Well,
Oh, I can sure. So
Yeah, why don't you?
So we get. I'm
so
sorry.
you could do something. I mean,
I
Tom's
can
like,
carry
hey,
the whole
Kevin,
damn show.
do an update on tickets.
I have to carry
something.
I would like to rest every once in a while. If I'm sprinting and we're a team and
Hey,
I'm
guys.
constantly sprinting,
Yes.
every once in a while it's nice to relax and then have somebody else
Here he
take
I'm
the
going to
lead.
steal your ideas,
Here
and
he
then I'm going to
comes.
complain that I'm working too hard.
Turn off that microphone, John. It's like the good old
So
days.
here's the deal with VIP passes, VIP experience passes at the fest. So they go on sale generally right around the time. Actually, they not generally. They do go on sale right after the announcement that Tom makes here on the pod. So last week we had Sammy Hagar and Friends announced, which is very cool.
Yeah, Sammy Hagar
which
and
is a
Friends.
big thing for Tom because
So
that
have
was his
we've
first concert.
announced everybody
Huge.
who's coming.
Yeah, the whole fest.
Yeah.
So right, we announced like Old Dominion's on Tuesday, the OGs are on Wednesday, Limp Bizkit's on Thursday, REO Speedwagon's on Friday,
how
Sammy
are we
Hagar
s-
and Friends is on Saturday, and Sunday's Los Tucanes de Tijuana.
How are we
Nice.
supposed to get an audience now if we don't have any more announcements to make?
Oh,
We'll
people-
figure out ways to maximize.
We're gonna
Let's
have
announce.
some fun
Let's
things.
just do it Monday. Let's just go all 7 days. You know what
Just
I mean?
keep going.
Let's have
We
something
were
on
We
wanted
would
to-
Monday.
find out of
I
things.
wanted
We would
to
have
do
some
that.
meltdowns
Really?
then. So anyway, with sales, right? So VIP experience passes, they're on sale right after you announce, and we got our weekly update last night from the guy that deals with the sales, Ray, and in 3 days, from Friday to Sunday, I guess Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days, Sammy Hagar and Friends overtook everyone.
Yep. What?
Yes.
Yep.
John,
In 2 days.
crazy.
This is overtook.
Crazy.
Old
And by the
Dominion.
way,
Old
Old Dominion
Dominion
and REO Speedwagon are not slouches with
Right,
sales.
no, they're doing really well. We
Really
had 100,
well.
almost 150,000
Yeah.
in sales, and now we have 250,000.
and Limp Bizkit, Los Tucanes, OJs are right behind them. It is unbelievable in 4 days, John.
By the way,
And by the way, credit to you because there were some doubters. There were
with
some
what, Sammy Hagar?
there were some doubters.
There was not doubters on my end.
That-
Like,
I was doubting because I didn't know who
well,
he
like,
was.
yeah, because you're, 29, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Marissa, who is younger generation than I am, she's 7 years younger than me. Marissa is like, oh, I don't think that's gonna be that big. I'm like, you have no idea. Like in maybe I was young to the party with Van Halen. I don't know. We weren't that young.
No,
Middle
right?
school when
Yeah,
they were
I'd say-
big. Middle
Yeah, I was
school to
gonna
high
say
school.
middle to high school.
When I was in high school,
for
they
sure.
were the band.
Without a
right?
doubt.
Sammy Hagar, when he took over Van
In
Halen.
1984.
That was a moment in my life. Like, I remember very clearly. And, like, there's no doubt in my mind this is the biggest band we've had. And it'll be one of the biggest nights we've ever had.
Over
Sammy
the
Hagar
weekend,
and
I was
Friends.
listening to some Sammy
was
Hagar.
too.
I was listening to some Montrose, which I haven't listened to in so long.
Yeah.
Oh, I was loving it.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
it's going to be great.
By the way, like,
FestivalTheLakes.com, by the way.
and also, like, this is a fair warning. The Van Halen album, by the way.
That was very nice.
This is fair warning to those of you that think that you could wait until the very end and
master.
scoop up tickets like at the very end. It's not.
Yeah,
gonna-
the passes The VIP experience passes are not.
There's limited.
Yeah.
We only have a certain amount of room, and once
limit,
it fills up, it's done. Like there's nothing the mayor can do for you. We have contractual obligations with these bands where we can only put certain amount of people in certain areas, and if it sells out to the people that are paying $75 for VIP experience, you're SOL.
And by the way,
statute of limitations.
Before today, before June 1st, there was a discounted period, and they're still discounted right now from June 1st to June 15th. After June 15th, they go full price.
Because I have people
So
who
get
are
'em
like,
now.
"Hey, mayor, if there's extra tickets, could you hook me up?" And I'm like, I tend to have tendency not to do that, but there's some times where maybe it's a slow night.
Sure.
Like you have a band that's not filling out, and I
Right.
got a couple extra tickets.
The
I'm
weather's
like,
iffy.
Right. And I throw a couple tickets
Sure.
just because you want to have a good crowd.
Yeah,
there.
the passes, right. Absolutely.
That's not going to be the case.
Well, just remember.
With Sammy Hagar, that is not going to be the case. With Old Dominion, that is not going to be the case. With REO Speedwagon, that is not going to be the case. Like if you're sitting back there thinking you're going to get tickets in mid-July, you're wrong.
Yep.
You're going to be standing outside.
And just remember, folks, it's a free show. So even if you
Well,
don't
you could
get
be in the
passes,
free show,
you can,
right?
and everybody's welcome for the
Right.
free show. So
Right. But yeah, I could tell, like, as soon as we announced Sammy the other day, my Navy buddies put together an impromptu trip. And they're
No
flying
way.
out Friday to Sunday.
Conveniently.
Well, no.
Good,
I mean,
that's
fine.
awesome.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. They found out Sammy is playing. They found out the night before REO Speedwagon.
They're like, we know the mayor.
And Thursday, Limp Bizkit, and they're all flying out. because
that's
they
going
want
to be
catch
fun.
the 3
Little
shows.
Navy reunion.
Yeah, they're going to stay in Chicago.
Whoa.
And they're going to drive in for
Which
each
one
of
of
the
your
show.
Navy buddies are coming in?
Like 5 of them.
That's really fun.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
it
that's
was
gonna
thrown
be
together
great.
last second. Marty and
Will-
Jason
or no,
and
Wilson.
Greg and
I know Marty.
Hodge, this is the
Mark Hodge, right?
this is the thing you were talking about is that you think that folks might come in for that week, like a power weekend. If
They
you're
will.
into rock and
They
roll,
will.
like
It's a rock
Thursday
and
Limp
roll weekend.
Bizkit,
We should
REO Speedwagon.
We should advertise it as
Sammy
such.
Hagar and Friends.
Seriously, we should
Boom.
advertise it as such. Like, want to travel? You can come in on Thursday, catch Limp Bizkit. On Friday, catch REO. On Saturday, catch Sammy Hagar and Friends.
And away you go.
We should set up like a
Stay for Latin
campground
night.
area.
Come early for country and OJs.
Yeah.
Stay the week.
So, but yeah, my
Camp
mom,
out on Boy Scout Island.
Festivalofthelakes.com.
and my mom is coming in with her friend to watch Old Dominion, right?
Wow.
And then, it's already, huh?
Yeah.
And then
It's early.
Grandma Lynn's flying in too. So like my whole family's coming in. Like it's great. Looking
That's
forward
great.
to it.
Well, we're in a little bit. We're going to have Dave Woerpel on to talk about some really funny fest stuff, just because we're kind of in a fest mood.
I love.
And by the way, we're only 6 weeks away. 6
the
weeks
fest,
till
yeah.
fest.
Like I love one of the stories. I'm going to blow one of the stories right now.
Yeah, do it.
Remember Tone Look?
Yes.
You guys, John, you remember Tone Look?
Oh yeah.
Funky Cole Medina.
He opened for.
We have a picture of this guy.
I think I have
Ludacris.
a picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you throw that? That's it.
Who did he open for?
Ludacris,
Ludacris, maybe? No.
I think it was Ludacris. So Tone Loc, was it Ludacris? But anyway, Tone Loc is a cool dude, man, and likes,
Really good guy.
likes to properly prepare for his concerts.
Yes.
Right. So let's just say that I'm not gonna like cast aspersions. He's a great dude. I loved him. He was super cool. Great positive vibes. Right. From California, if I remember correctly, and smelled like it. Let's just put it that way. So he's
I
properly
didn't know
prepared.
California had a smell.
It does have a smell. Okay, and those of you from California know what I'm talking about. So this guy's properly preparing for his show.
California style.
That's right. And so you know how like the festival we have the VIP stage? Like there's like a little area that you could sing there, and it's like the back of the stage, and there's like 200 people watching. And then you go around to the other side of the stage, and there's 15,000 people, right? So Tone Loc is sort of
Yeah, he's ready.
he's properly vetted. He's properly, ready to go on stage. And he gets up there, and they're playing the intro music, and he goes up there, and he starts singing one of his songs, and he's singing to the wrong crowd.
What do you mean by?
He's singing to the back.
I mean, I was there, but
He's at the back side of the stage singing to the VIP area.
not even VIP. It was like the crew,
the back of the
like the crew, and,
then,
like a couple of sponsors.
There's people that hang out back there.
100 people.
100 people.
Sure.
And there's like 10,000 people on the other side screaming, and this dude
and
is
he was
like
singing Funky Cold Medina,
and he's
too.
got the earpieces
Right.
in, so he can't hear anybody.
Right.
We're like, dude, other side. And he did like half the song, and we're like waving to him, like, dude, you're on the wrong side. Go on the other side.
And then his handler kind of like grabbed him and like took him around. He's like, "Oh man!"
So-
and he was laughing later about it.
It was funny as heck. He was a cool dude, man. Tone Loc, man. I loved him. He's
So
a
more
very positive
more
energy.
funny fest stories after we get back.
When-
From, we
there's
got
a
a couple
reason.
other things.
There's
to
a
talk
reason
about.
why Dave Woerpel is chosen. He's the line-in
Yeah, he was the
supervisor.
load-in manager for a long time, for 15 years, 16 years of the fest. So we'll get him in later.
You throw him pictures?
Oh, that's a great. Do you have that one up, John?
See, like,
I don't have
forget
up yet.
Don't forget about the carnival. The carnival's got all kinds of fun
I love
stuff.
this
They
photo.
show me hanging there on a pull-up bar. I don't remember how long I was supposed to hang for, but that was 1 minute and 50 seconds.
I feel like that's a really long time.
It's a long time, especially
Because it's harder than it looks, right?
dude.
I can't remember. Were you supposed to do pull-ups or just hang?
No, you hang.
You hang.
And I was
yeah.
supposed to hang for like 3 minutes, and I think I only made it a little bit past 2 minutes.
That's pretty.
It's brutal.
I
And
couldn't
by the
do
way,
that.
I'm not a boy band member. I'm like 220.
Yeah.
So, and when I was in the Navy, I could crank out chin-ups and pull-ups like back then.
I'm not
I
a boy
remember
band member.
taking
I'm
that
not a boy
picture.
band member, right?
That's another good title, John.
I'm not a boy
it's
band
battling
member.
with Hillbilly Barbecue. Backyard Hillbilly Barbecue.
How about
All right,
John? Do you have
Lindsay.
that one of me and the SWAT team,
Yeah.
like, firing off the
this is a
automatic
great-
weapons?
It's a great photo.
I like this one too. This is me.
At the gun range. At the
took-
carnival gun
I
range.
paid for the police officers, and we all had a contest on who could wipe out the star with the BB guns that shoot sideways.
Those guys
Didn't
were
you
having
win,
fun.
Tom?
I don't remember.
I don't.
It'd be pretty sad if I
I don't
won.
remember that happening, John.
I'll just say yes. How about
See
that?
John's hand and
that's
arm
me
in
right
the.
there, yeah.
But
John's
I paid
hand
for
and arm in
the
right and the left
officers, though,
side.
right?
See, John, you're an excellent hand model.
Yeah.
You are.
That is a
Oh.
nice hand.
Look
You
at
got
those
very
hands,
soft
plural,
skin.
John. You have two of them.
You got two of them.
And, Linz, do your spiel. Let's do it.
Let's do it, Linz.
We're
You're
going to
not
come
ready?
back.
Good
I want to talk
morning.
about that. I want to talk about that lawsuit. So, go ahead.
Lawsuit. Oh,
Yes, not
okay.
against you.
All right, thank God. All right, you're listening to Left of Center, where we cover everything from politics to important events of the day in the Midwest and the nation, all while having way too much fun while doing it. If you can't get enough of us, you can follow us on Facebook at Left of Center Podcast or on Twitter at LockPod, LOCPOD. If you can't listen in live, you can always download our episodes from the Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, or iHeartRadio apps. Just search Left of Center Podcast and look for our red and blue logo. Don't forget to subscribe and rate on every single one of those applications, please. Also, if you would like to start some ads on our podcast, email us at Steve, STEVE, at LockPod.
You can send all the emails you want to Steve.
Please
Sure.
do.
Yeah, just send like hate mail to Steve.
Or
No,
send him mail.
love mail.
Send him
Love
nudes.
mail.
Mailbag.
To the Magic Man.
Male nudes he likes in particular.
Mail. Is that MAIL or is that
Mail.
MALE. Yeah, he likes nudes of male. Yeah. Male nudes. Steve at Lockpod, that is.
You know, we forgot one thing about the fest.
What?
I got to pull this up. I would be remiss.
Oh,
It'd
yeah.
be rude if I didn't.
I would be remiss.
What do you got?
Remiss.
You'll be remiss.
MIST.
Really?
Missed.
No.
It's remiss.
Remiss.
I would be remiss.
Remiss.
English teacher.
Thank you.
Are
English
you joking
teacher.
with us?
I was just
Check-
repeating him.
So anyway,
Check
this
this
is
out.
This is the baseball one where the annoying dude.
This guy is so annoying.
Okay.
But he's really good at his job.
Wait. Messed him up. Closer.
Me firing.
Closer.
BP.
Getting worse. Come on, you can hit it. Get it.
See you, sucker.
The guy loves it too. Check out the guy. He's like, yeah, thank God you got him.
That guy's an asshole. The guy dunked. I wanted to throw a baseball
like-
at him, but I was focused on the target.
Well, you've done probably, I don't know, 100,000 batting pitches,
Probably.
batting practice pitches. So
And that was in mid-season, so I was ready. It'd take me a couple now.
that was nice.
I got mail hag.
Mail
Male
hag.
hag?
Yeah, I just named it.
Mail.
Male
guys like it?
hag.
Don't you want to do our sponsors?
Oh, yeah, we got to do sponsors. My bad.
They pay our.
And you,
No, we're
you
supposed
like
to do
teased a
sponsors.
lawsuit that we
Oh.
haven't touched on
Yeah.
yet?
No, we have that after
All right.
ads.
Wow.
Mail
All right.
hag.
Read the note.
Mailbag. Raimundo Garcia, owner of a popular restaurant in Hammond. It's a Mexican restaurant called El Taco Real. It's a great restaurant if you're interested.
Sure is.
I cut off because it was a long letter, but I wanted to get the meat and potatoes of it.
Shocking.
So Raimundo, the second half of the letter starts, Franciscan Hammond, this is about the hospital, is a nonprofit Catholic organization dedicated to helping society at large, especially the poor and those who cannot help themselves. They pay no taxes. True. And by definition, they're not supposed to be capitalists. However, they are planning to tear down a huge portion of their hospital in Hammond because they claim they are not making enough profit there. This is a gross violation of the Franciscans' charters. They have placed profit ahead of the public. Do the Franciscans want to be capitalist? If so, then they should pay their fair share of taxes and be held to capitalist rules. Do they want to claim Jesus as their leader and live by Christian imperatives? Then they should not be allowed to unilaterally abandon a huge physical presence in downtown Hammond with profit as their reasoning. A famous politician recently said it takes a village to succeed in today's world. This means that all of us need to help each other in proportion to our abilities. Abandoning Hammond in the name of profits is the exact opposite of being a member of our village. Please prove that I am wrong. Franciscan Hammond and stay in Hammond. Franciscan Hospital and stay in
Thank
Hammond.
you, Raymundo.
Thank you, Raymundo. What a great letter. It ran in the local newspaper on Sunday, which I imagine quite a few people saw it. So I wanted to put that on the show. It wasn't sent to me directly, but it was on topic.
It took the place for mailbag today.
Mailbag.
Mailbag.
Thank you, John. Was that
me.
John?
That was me.
Wow.
Let's
All
do some
right.
ads.
Let's do some ads.
Today's
John had
weird.
no comment.
Today is weird.
Because we prepped. We didn't prep.
Yeah.
By the way, we prepped, by the way. Kevin and I were in here late prepping.
Yeah.
It was,
Oh,
wasn't
no
as
true
fun as
barbecue?
it wasn't as fun as going to True.
dude, and Kevin was totally distracted last night. It was not very often that I was the one, the taskmaster.
Well, I was looking for old photos.
Yeah, you were. You were like strolling.
And look, if I didn't do that, we wouldn't have had those great photos and videos.
I agree. But you were a little.
I was distracted. I was
He's
going through
allowed.
memories. It was memories.
That's right. Hey, remember we do this every Tuesday and Friday morning at 7:30 a.m. live.
I already said
But now you can listen wherever you want and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or the Spotify app.
Wow.
It's all right. We can
That's
do it more than once.
that's my thing.
Don't take her thing.
Yeah, I already do so little.
Powering America.
You do enough.
Our sponsors, including our lead sponsor, Powering America, is Northwest Indiana's source for a trusted electrical professional. If you are a developer looking for a large-scale electrical contractor, Powering America can help take the guesswork out of finding a professional you can trust. Their select network of electrical contractors are committed to employing local electricians that have successfully completed a certified apprenticeship training program registered with the Indiana Department of Labor. All employees are held to a high standard of professionalism, expertise, and knowledge. And all of their contractors are licensed, bonded, and insured. If you would like more information about your electrical needs, visit Powering America today at CertifiedElectrician.com. Thank you, Powering America.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard of Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. The Martinez model for success has always been responsive customer service, great tasting products with an authentic Mexican taste, and high-quality standards. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
We're waiting for Eli and his jingle.
He
Mike Andrade was saying it's happening.
He got back to me yesterday.
Yeah, it's happening?
Yeah.
The jingle's coming?
So we're going to bring him in. He's going to do the commercial for us.
I love it.
Every day. It's just going to
Just
come
that
in.
one
And we
day.
hope Tortillas
We'll
Nuevo
cut that
Leon
one.
stay as sponsors.
Yeah, we're gonna bribe him with it.
Can you imagine Eli comes in every podcast to do the
The jingle live.
Like Eli, we'll be on around 7:37.
Make sure you come in with your ukulele.
Yeah, you come in for one song and then you leave.
Make sure the pipes are ready to clean.
I love Eli. We would not want you to leave. That's the thing. Eli and I'd be singing old Creedence songs.
That's
and
true.
Stuff like that.
Grisolia's Concrete
Let
was
me
voted.
take you. Oh, that's
Oh.
Creed.
That was
Wait,
Creed.
is that Creed?
Who was that?
I'm a take.
We were on CCR, John.
CCR.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
To Paris,
He
where
said Creedence and he thought
blackbirds
Creed.
Stuck in a Lodi. You know.
They're vastly different bands.
They are.
Bayou.
There we go. That's a little
Stop the
different.
rain.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job.
There's
Good
John.
I got to it.
Grisolia's Concrete was voted number 1 in the Times.
We need
Best of
Eli
the
to make
Region
a Grisolia
2020.
concrete.
Let's not go too
We
far.
already have
We
California
need to
style.
pay
Yes,
this
I was gonna
guy
say,
for
we
his
are-
work.
California style.
I haven't even got there yet. Wait till I
my
get to
bad.
that part.
All right, my bad.
And specializes in all of your concrete projects. Grisolia's has been using the original cement finish in
California style.
The hand is out. The beat hand is out
All right.
since 1972 and also offers stamped and colored concrete. For more information or a project quote, call Grisolia's at 219-659-4127. Grisolia's Concrete.
Keep it rocking.
All right, your turn.
Keep it rocking.
Here we go.
All right.
Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West. Does anyone know the line after that?
State
No.
that's
Anyone
untouchable
ever?
like Elliot. No.
Boom.
Oh, right.
Wow.
This guy's not messing around.
That's right. Try Electronics wants to be your. We need Eli to come up with a Try Electronics jingle.
That'd be good
Okay,
too.
we need to start paying this man.
Yeah, poor Eli's sitting there all night trying
He's
to
like,
figure
oh man.
He's like, the mayor asked me to
I'm
do this.
exhausted. I'm stressed.
Try Electronics wants to be your complete communications provider.
And it's his podcast.
That's right. It's my podcast. and you want to be my complete communications provider.
Wow.
Salesman.
Try Electronics has
End
been
to
a
end.
leader in this industry for more than 55 years and can provide your
It's
business
older
with
than us.
communications solutions. For more information, call Try Electronics today at 1-800-722-6793 and tell them Lockpod sent you.
LOCPOD.
I agree with Jill in chat.
Why you can't? You have to agree with Jill, by the way.
By the way, I don't
episode-
read chat. I'm making the magic happen. I don't have time to read chat. I read chat after.
Jill said this episode is a hot mess.
Oh, I disagree.
It's true.
Well, we've been on a long vacation. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah,
we're not on our
3
A game.
days.
We're not on our A game.
It's like 1 day extra.
we're like on our B- game.
this is B minus.
Big,
All right,
big time
fair
B-.
enough.
I also took a vitamin gummy this morning and thought it might have been an
Really?
edible. I don't know.
So
I'm
John's floating.
JK, LOL.
That's why you did Creed
JK,
instead of
LOL.
CCR.
Yeah, right.
Byway Brewing is a
JK,
family-friendly
That's the title.
JK,
micro
LOL.
brewery with a spacious tap room and outside patio. And with this week, you might want to get out there for the patio. It's going to be beautiful. Perfect for enjoying its finely crafted ales, lagers, and chef-driven food. Brewing equipment on our production side offers a unique backdrop for your private event like bridal and baby showers, birthdays, reunions, and corporate events. Conveniently located just off 8094 in the Kennedy Avenue South exit, come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu. Thank you, sponsors.
I'm sure the state of Indiana. Did you know that?
I did know
Well,
that.
it's not the state of Indiana. It's the judicial.
not.
It is a subdivision of the state of Indiana.
The
That's
state
correct.
does
Fair
deserve
enough.
to be sued every once in a
Some-
while.
Well,
Sometimes.
it's a state law that we're challenging. It was a law that was passed by a dude from Hebron, which is like small town.
By the way, where they get to vote for their judges.
Yeah, and this guy who's the freaking he's a state rep named Mike Ellsworth. He's like a good old boy, and he doesn't like the fact that we, if we were given our own prerogative here in Northwest Indiana, we would elect more minority judges because a lot of African Americans and Hispanics live here, and the state of Indiana does not like that policy.
Apparently not. They passed it. The law got passed. And by the way, the flip of that is he doesn't want Porter County or wherever else in the state of Indiana to have judicial nominating commissions.
Meaning
Have it one way or the other.
Meaning he wants where he lives to be able to vote for their judges, but where we live, we should not be able to vote for our judges.
Right. Or vice versa. He wants us to have a judicial nominating commission and him not to have a judicial
Right.
nominating commission.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like, which way do you want it, Mike?
Exactly. He wants different, depending on where we are. And this is geared towards where the minorities live. If minorities live in certain counties in Indiana, they target those counties and don't let the voters pick their judges. So let's talk about the 4 counties where you cannot elect your judges. Lake County, heavy, diverse county.
Sure.
St. Joseph County, which is where Notre Dame is, which is where South Bend is, which is a heavy, diverse county. Allen County, which is where Fort Wayne is, a Democratic mayor, Democratic
Urban
area.
areas.
Urban area, but very, very much like Hammond, very diverse. A lot of Hispanics, a lot of African Americans, and then Marion County, very heavy minority population.
Sure.
So if you live in those heavy minority areas, you cannot elect your judges in Indiana. But if you live where all the white people live, like in all the where the
88
rich
other
people
counties.
live, you can vote for them. So in Indiana, because of this bullshit system that was set up by Aylesworth and his super majority colleagues, if you are a white person in Indiana, 72% of you can vote for your judges directly. If you are a black person in Indiana,
Or 74% of black people, 3 out of every 4.
cannot elect our judges. By the way, I'm one of the 28% of Caucasians in Indiana that cannot vote for your judges.
As we all are.
Right.
It's weird, right? That like if you lived in Portage, which is a little town or or smaller city right over the line of Lake and Porter County in Northwest Indiana, our little corner of the world, you get to vote for your
Where
judges.
this Hilljack representative is from,
Yes,
by the
he
way.
is.
Yeah,
He
this-
is.
The
And-
good old boy, that doesn't know shit about the legal system, and he comes in and just jacks up a system that's been there since the 70s.
Yep.
It wasn't, by the way, it was broken before, and I was privately
Stewing about it.
stewing about the system and how it treats us differently, and they weren't satisfied. Meaning the supermajority. They have the governor's office.
Sure.
This is Kevin's line from last
Yeah.
night. They have the governor's office. They have a supermajority in the House, supermajority in the Senate.
Super majority.
They have both U.S. senators. They have the governor's office. They have
every
freaking-
statewide office.
They have everything, every statewide office, and judges all across the state, and they're not satisfied. Like, if they left us to our own devices in Lake County, we would elect Democrats. We would elect a lot more brown and African American judges, brown and black, and women and stuff
Whatever,
like that.
right? They
And-
hopefully elect the best judges.
so
Whatever.
this asshole Aylesworth is not satisfied with We have everything already. We have 98% of the stuff that's good. I want 100, though. How dare these people elect minority judges?
A county that he doesn't live in, by the way.
So
And he's going to float this bill.
Not satisfied with 98%. They want the full 100%.
And I think you hit it on the head, right? It's about, like, there's a couple things in this lawsuit that are important, I think we need to say. Number one, it has nothing to do with the judges that are already on the bench.
Nope.
Right?
Well,
and
true.
the truth of the matter is that we do have a really have a really good bench here in Lake County, regardless of the system they got him in or whatever.
Let's be honest, though. This is a Democratic county.
Yeah, yeah.
Which means that if we, like almost every county in America, your judges reflect your county.
Sure.
But they don't where we live because we are probably 75% Democratic county, maybe a little bit lower, a couple percent. And in
the election,
in
right.
Lake County, all of our judges are Republican, appointed by the governor for the most part.
Yeah.
Outside of Marissa, who's elected by the way.
Well, I mean, I think you remember in the JNC, you don't like go out and say I'm Republican or I'm Democrat.
But what
right?
happens as a result, Kevin? They know that the only way to get picked is if you're a strong Republican. So you see judges, you and I know a friend of ours who was Democrat her whole life, her whole career. Now she's suddenly Republican because she has this, I want to be a judge. And to be a judge, I got to be a Republican.
It's interesting because one of the things that people would say, or like that guys like Ellsworth would say, and you'd hear is, no, what happened was the JNC as it existed prior to this new takeover by the governor's office, which is weird anyway, because now he appoints the people that are on the commission and then picks the judge, which is weird. Is that the Republicans complained that the commission would just send 3 Democrats down.
Right.
And that was
which is how we would deal with it. It's like, we're
that's the only way
Democratic
you
County.
could.
So if we send you 3 Democrats, the governor has no choice but to pick a Democrat. Sometimes Republicans would sneak in, though, and the governor would pick a Republican.
Yeah, I mean, and then you heard people like, oh, I started voting Republican because it's the only way I could get picked as a judge.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, you heard that, too. And now
so they're changing their affiliation and lying so that they have a better chance in their career of being judge.
I mean, you hear that. I don't know if anyone did it, but that's what
I know
you hear.
for a fact people have done it.
And then they vote, they start voting.
Right.
And then they show up as an R.
Yeah, because if you want to be a judge, that's the game you got to play.
Under this crazy system, right?
That's why they want it like that.
So in the lawsuit asks for prospective relief, saying like when vacancies come up moving forward, you got to either make one decision or the other. It's either got to be all judicial nominating commission through the state, all 92 counties, or all elected. But it shouldn't be 2 systems.
We're going to win this case. I'm telling you. This case, we're going to challenge the state law and we're going to change the way we do business in Indiana. This is a big time case. That's why it's covered on the front page of Post Tribune. It was covered on page 3 of the Times. It was covered on page 4 of the Indiana Lawyer this week. Pictures, the whole thing, quotes. Like, this is a big time case.
Yeah, it's in federal courts in front of Judge Simon. And I think one of the interesting things about it is there's a Voting Rights Act portion of it, one of the counts. And that to me was the really interesting part of this lawsuit is, will it come down to a Voting Rights Act issue that says like you can't discriminate based on race regarding elections?
They're dead meat in this state.
They got to make a choice. I mean, the state's got to make a choice. Do you want 92 judicial nominating commissions like you have in these 4 counties, or do you want to elect judges everywhere?
That's right.
And that's what you have to decide.
Has Ellsworth or anyone else come out and said why they're floating?
Good question.
Why, like
I want this bizarre quote, John.
Okay.
This is the first article that came out, right?
Yeah, I don't even understand this.
It was in the middle of the session when this quote came out. So go ahead.
So a couple of things. One, interesting, right? He had a bizarre quote about why he did it in this article, which I'll read in a minute. But the other thing he said, which I thought was crazy, he said when it went through committee that the governor asked him to float the bill.
Wow.
And then the governor said, I didn't ask him to float the bill.
Right.
Which I thought was really weird, which means somebody else did. Somebody else told him to float it.
Right.
So it was
and there's a lot of rumors where we're from. There's a lot of rumors about a certain lawyer that was bitching and started this whole process, and that lawyer strongly denies it.
And right. And I've heard that it was actually other Republicans locally that wanted it changed.
So the fact is, this is all about just power, and it's the supermajority that is not satisfied with 98% of all the offices. They want 100%, and they're just greedy pricks, and they're discriminating against Hispanics and African Americans
and other minorities. Well, at least it seems that way. And the other thing he said in this article was he has solid reasons for the new law because in larger counties people may not know the candidates. Now think about that. He's saying because in smaller counties like Porter County that aren't that small, by the way, 100,000, 150,000 people, they all know their judicial candidates.
Right.
Like,
what about Evansville?
Right, Evansville, 200,000 people.
240,000 in Evansville County.
Vanderbilt County,
right.
They somehow know their candidates.
There's so many populous counties. Hendricks County.
Sure.
Where Carmel and Fishers. Carmel's like 100,000 people fishes like 100,000 people, and like that's a huge.
Like this is this guy's stated reason.
He's a freaking idiot.
doesn't
That's
make
the
any
thing.
sense.
Like Aylesworth is a freaking. He doesn't know shit about the legal system. He's just a power hungry prick. I mean, he really is, and discriminatory. And he's discriminating against African Americans. He's discriminating against Hispanics. I can't wait till the next time I see this freaking Hilljack. I'm going after him. Next time I see him, you're not going to see nice Mayor Tom. I'm always pretty respectful with representatives, but fuck this guy. Seriously, this guy's an asshole. Like, I'm just being honest with you. Like, this is total greed, total like power grab, and like no justification whatsoever. It's just typical of the stuff you're seeing going on in Atlanta, typical of the stuff you're seeing going on in Texas. This is no different.
I mean, think about in Texas. Dave knows this. Councilman Woerpel just walked in.
Hey, Councilman.
I mean, the Democrats had to walk out just so they didn't enact the
they couldn't get a quorum or something.
Right, but that's only a temporary measure because they're going to call them back into special session. But this is no different. They're like making a justification to grab all the judge spots. And so we're going to have a bunch of judges that don't reflect Northwest Indiana because of this guy. He doesn't give a shit about that, though. He just wants a bunch of white males.
He gets to vote for his judges.
I want white male Republicans on the bench. That's it. You know, if you're a young African-American, if you're a young female, if you're a young Hispanic, screw you. You know,
interesting, right? Eddie Fontanez is Eduardo Fontanez is a local lawyer. He's one of the plaintiffs, and he ran for a judgeship, and lost, and wanted to run again, and now he can't because now those are all appointed.
That's
positions.
right. If he wants, so he was already a city court judge.
Yep.
So if he wants to be a superior court judge and run, and he's young, Hispanic, attorney, he's a previous judge. Imagine he's got a fairly decent shot at winning, and he has no chance because they don't allow you to run, Eddie. You can't run in Lake County, Eddie. You know, you got to kiss the governor's ass to become judge.
The state's got to choose. They got to either say all 92 counties are under this system where the governor picks out of a selection process, and it's the same everywhere.
Or Eddie can move to Porter County and run.
He could.
What a bunch of crap. So if Eddie moves 10 miles, because he lives right on the border.
Yeah,
if he moves 5 miles to the east, if he moves a few miles to the east, he could run at large and win. Or if he stays in his current home, he has to kiss the governor's ass and kiss Ellsworth's ass and kiss a bunch of Republican ass, right? So, like, it's such crap. It makes no sense. And in our Constitution in Indiana, there's a clause that says you have to treat us all equally. You have to treat all cities equally.
Figure.
You have to treat all counties equally.
What a novel idea.
Right? But, like,
it's
widely ignored in Indiana, and we're challenging it. So
it's going to be interesting.
Reminds me of the precinct consolidation.
It is. It's very similar, Dave. It's very similar. What's up, man?
Lake County
How you doing?
Good, brother.
I like your guys' toys here.
Thank you. Something.
I like the Lincoln. I like the Maker's Mark.
By the way, what's up with the Maker's Mark? I noticed that.
Are
you going to steal that one too?
Yes.
I'm eyeballing.
Chase is already going to. Chase is going to come in and grab my Maker's Mark.
Chase stole the.
Well, it was given to him by someone else.
I did not give him permission. He stole.
I don't know. His story sounds different.
I was here for that,
dude. Chase is he's widely known as a thief. So
wow.
He's just starting out in the workforce. He's widely known.
I court his employers like what?
Lindsay outed him. When
he's widely known. He's widely known. I'd watch him real closely.
Brother sister thing here. Now she's outing him, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not. Dad did.
Councilman,
that's right.
What's up?
Good morning. You brought your Packers cup in? How dare you?
That's the first cup that was in the cabinet.
Rodgers?
Usually they're all in my Jeep just laying.
What are you going to do without Aaron Rodgers?
They're gone. I mean, you know what? He can leave at this point for all I care.
Wow. That is what
I went through the Don
What have you
Mikowski
done for me
days and all
lately?
that. Yeah, so I'm ready for it again. I can get rid of DirecTV then.
Let me ask you a question. Why would we call you in here if we're going to talk about the fest? Why don't you explain that to the audience?
Well,
why would we call in Councilman Dave to talk about the festival?
Because he's an amazing and entertaining man.
He is entertaining.
I'm the carny, I guess.
Amazing's a little over the top.
It's way over the top.
Yeah. But why would we?
16 years ago, when you first brought back the fest, Phil Vanez was guarding a gate.
Mm-hmm.
Right there by the performers.
We know he's listening.
Guarding a what?
Hey, Phil.
He was guarding a gate by the performers trailer, and he said, "Hey, Woerpel, I got to use the bathroom. Can you stand here a second?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And Diamond Rio was out there that night.
Diamond Rio.
Hey, Mayor. I remember they went golfing with me. They were
it was one of the first country acts I think we had.
I love how they said Mayor.
Well, they said, "Hey, can we get a towel?" And I went, "Who are you talking to here?" So I think Steve Fowler, I met him that night, and I'm like, "Hey, go over there, and there's a lady in that trailer named Sue. Ask her for a towel." And I've been stuck at that gate ever since.
Nice. Nice. So you
And
learned a
Phil's
lot.
been out enjoying the fest.
Phil's
Okay.
out there in the
Phil's like,
crowd with his
high five.
wife. Yeah, high fiving, and I'm back there running around getting
Moral to the
towels
story is don't give Dave anything. I will
That's
never.
right.
If I need a temporary mayor, it will not be Dave Woerpel.
No,
'Cause
no,
he'll-
no,
He'll
no,
never
no,
let
no.
go of it.
The upside is you probably have a million stories now.
Oh, more than I can say.
Well, we're gonna say a few of them.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean,
Like, well, I just busted out. I don't know if you were listening in the green room over there. I busted out the Tone Look where he sang to the right audience.
oh, that was hilarious. He got off of that golf cart after he sat back there because you know how it works. A lot of times they have their intro music and they're actually
right.
standing there waiting.
Right,
for
it's
it.
playing for like 30 seconds to a minute before they go on stage.
And yeah, and he walks up them stairs, and he turns towards the back, and he starts waving at the crowd, and he's grabbing the microphone. And what did he sing? 2 or 3 songs?
He did a lot. Of,
And you know, he was pacing back and forth on the stage, and I think I was on one side of it, and you were on the other. And every time he got close, we were trying to take
we're
him
like,
on.
dude, you're on the wrong side.
You're on the wrong side, and then he turned around and saw it. And
That's the first time that's ever happened.
that's the first time I ever seen that.
That's never happened before.
I love the
Since,
lineup
before or
this year. You
since?
guys, this is the best ever. I mean, REO Speedwagon. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
I saw. You know where I saw them the first time?
Sammy Hagar and friends.
The very first time I saw what became REO Speedwagon was Kevin Cronin was doing a block party at Chancellor Kean's house
What?
when I was a kid. I was like 10 years old, rode my bike up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Was this when you were working the Civic Center as a
No,
cotton
this
candy
was
man?
like, hey, you guys want to go to a block party or something? It was a frat or something. that
When was this? Before my time?
Right down the street from you.
Yeah, I know
where
what you're talking
Chancellor
Well, Kevin
Kean
Cronin
lives.
is from where? Champaign or something?
Yeah,
Like
but
Yeah,
they
he's
were
close.
they were a bar band that played. I mean, I saw them there, and then back in the early 70s and 80s, you could see them at Sherwood Club any night you wanted to see.
What was you remember the live show?
Sherwood.
Oh yeah,
We were digging in on topics.
the Sherwood
It's my
Club.
job to keep Dave bouncing.
yeah. I can see.
Dave will
his-
start burrowing. He'll
Yeah,
start
I'll go
burrowing down, and
deep
then I'm
into
like,
the weeds.
pull
Keep
him
it-
out and like keep him,
Yeah, I remember
it
the
rolling.
live show. The
live.
show,
Remember
yeah.
the lead singer's name?
Ed.
Kowalczyk.
Ed Kowalczyk. Yeah,
He was a nice guy, right?
he's a very nice guy. So is the manager. The manager's
Yeah.
really cool. You and him hit it off real good. That
Yeah.
was the night that he couldn't sing, and Tom goes, "I know a doctor that's going to give him a shot in the ass," and his voice.
I didn't
is
know
gonna
that's the way it
work.
was going to work out. I did. I wish I would have known. That would have
way
been
it
pretty
did work
cool.
out. He might not have
Hey,
gone
listen
with
to
you.
me, Ed. I'm going to give you a shot in the ass, and then you're going to sing great tonight. He'd
No,
have been
but I
like,
mean, if
I
you
don't know
were-
what you guys in Hammond think about.
That's another good title, John. I'm going to give you a shot in the ass.
And you're
Yeah,
going
there
to
you
sing
go.
great. And you're going to sing great.
Yeah, but if you remember, what was that? The Crop Puppies played for like 2.5
Dude,
hours.
they played way
opening
too long.
act.
That's why
Yeah.
I love Crop Puppies to this day. Like,
I remember
I'll
when
never
they-
forget that. Like, so we walk up to set the stage.
Yeah.
We walk up, and Ed Kowalczyk is telling us it's literally like the opening band is on.
Yeah, so you
on
got like
stage.
an hour and a half.
And he comes up and he's like, "Dude, I can't play tonight. I can't sing." And we're like, "What?" Like,
Well, and you love those guys.
oh my god, that was my band. Okay, I've seen them a few times in my career. I saw them when they were huge, and then they played the fest twice. Funny enough, but so we were like, "Dude, like, how about a little heads up? If you're not going to play, you could have told us 12 hours ago, right? You're telling us now with the whole crowd in the audience." And so over the course of time, we talked Ed into going with me to St. Margaret's,
Yeah.
which is now being closed by the Franciscans.
Ironically enough.
So we took him to St. Margaret's, and a beautiful nurse that was working in the ER.
Like an angel.
She was an angel. She was super, super pretty.
This is the
super,
best part.
Super like into live.
Really?
So I walk in with Ed Kowalczyk, and she's like,
Coincidence.
"Oh my god!" Like this.
Coinky dink.
This lady is like humongous fan, and like I'm like, "Listen, beautiful nurse, I need your help here because this dude, beautiful nurse, I need your help. This dude needs to get a shot so that he could sing, and he's not listening to me, but he'll listen to you because you're a beautiful nurse
And you're a fan.
and you're a fan." And she's like sitting there like blinking her eyes like, "Please get this. We've had so many people do it, and it's like it works so well." And Ed's sitting there. I have to tell you, Ed Kowalczyk is a sweet guy. Like a normal. He's not like a
Superstar rocker.
superstar that doesn't care about the people. You could tell I was like hurting him because I was like, "Dude, you're my band. If you cancel, this looks bad on me."
Which is
Like,
kind of
I
cool,
picked
right?
you.
Because these guys are in towns and cities
Yeah.
every day, every night. They're hearing
Right.
the same BS.
But I'm like, "Dude, I picked you. I'm the mayor. I picked you. You guys can't do this to me." And he's like, "I'll give you everything I got. I'll get this shot, and I'll give you everything I got." And this nurse, I was like, "Thank you," like because she sold it. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, "It's so easy." So anyway, I didn't realize he was getting a shot in the butt.
Yeah.
So like he gets the shot, and I guess it hurt. It's like a COVID shot in his butt. So he's walking around like the
Did
rest
you
of the night.
witness this?
No, I didn't see his butt, but like he got the shot and he was like limping, like really audibly limping. Like
She saw his butt,
visibly
though.
limping. She did see his butt, and then
Right.
so anyway,
As a fan, that
we
was a
take
big
him
deal.
back to the fest grounds, lights and sirens,
Wow.
like emergency. Get him back to the fest. By this time, Crop Puppies have been playing for 2 hours plus.
2
The
hours.
longest set. The
How
Crop
many
Puppies have
opening
ever
bands
done.
have like 2 hours plus of music? They were playing Led Zeppelin when I got
like
there.
credit to the
That's
Crop
going
Puppies.
deep, dude. They were going like playing rock and roll by Led Zeppelin. I'm like, dude, this is like stuff they learned when
We
they
have
were
no
15.
more originals, but we got a lot of good
That's
stuff.
why I love the Crop Puppies to this day. They saved
know.
our ass.
Yeah,
We get
yeah,
Ed
they
Kowalczyk there. He plays the show. And then, so the cool thing is the show was late, and I invited all the nurses from St.
And
Margaret's.
that's the part I was getting to. It wasn't just one beautiful nurse.
So,
the whole
When the mayor goes, hey,
The whole
these
stable
4 get
full?
up on stage, I went, go
dude,
ahead.
they saved us. So, like, I
great.
told all the nurses, they were like, because I knew the show was going to go late that night because we were late, right?
Can't beat
And I was like,
nurses.
they're like, we get off at 10:30. I'm like, dude, come to the fest, and I'll put you on stage. Like, you can go right to the stage. So they get there, and then all like 5 or 6 of the
5 or
nurses,
6 of them, yeah.
really beautiful, pretty nurses from St. Margaret's, come on stage.
Incredibly intelligent,
course.
very skilled.
Of
They
course,
were.
of
They-
course.
we had a
amazing,
conversation.
Good point,
persuasive,
Lindsay.
Yeah.
persuasive, which is huge for me.
Excellent personalities.
Persuasive because they needed to convince him to do this. So they come up on stage with me, and the one nurse, the beautiful angel that I have never seen
The
since,
highly qualified nurse.
he brings her
love
on stage and sings a song to her,
Wow.
like on stage
Like
in
a
front
serenade.
of everybody. Yeah,
Lightning
it was
crashes.
like it was like the Bruce Springsteen.
Lightning crashes.
Yeah,
She did
was
lightning
it
crashes.
lightning
Was it like-
crash? Lightning crashes.
I don't
he sang
remember,
to her?
yeah.
He asked her what
It was
her
like
favorite song
it was
was.
like acoustic.
Like when
It was
Springsteen brings
acoustic.
Dancing in the Dark.
Well, the cool
Yeah,
thing,
it was one of those.
the cool thing is 3 years, 4 years later, you had him back out there. And
Yep.
so what I do out there is I meet the bus out there, and basically do all the running for the bands while to make sure that the city fulfills their side of the contract. But the manager walked off the bus, and he's like, "Hey, where's that mayor at?" And Ed got off the bus, and they took an instant liking to you. And I'm like, "He'll be here in a couple hours, after you guys set up and all that."
I think
But-
my favorite was like the second time they came back.
No, that's what he's talking about.
Oh,
yeah, when the second time they came
I thought you were
back,
talking about the first time.
Earth
No.
to
Second
Kevin.
time.
Sorry.
Yeah, it helps to listen to the
Miss
show.
But I remember-
was trying.
But I
you're
remember
in.
because where
like
they
a
park their
buzz.
buses is not really close to the stage, and I could hear them.
Hot
I could hear
mess.
the managers telling Ed "Hey, the mayor's here. He's cool. He's not pissed off about the last time. Come see him." And it's you and him hit it off
Well,
instantly.
no, I think where you were going. Why don't you say it, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. The funny thing was they were like, "Hey, Mayor, we saw you on CNN."
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that was
Well,
after
that's-
my mayor fight on
And about how
CNN.
they said like, "We talk about that night."
Yeah, because we went up. We're
all
like,
the time.
second time we come, we were like, "Do you remember the last time you played here?" And they're like, "Are you kidding me?" Like that was so
Well,
crazy.
during that show,
That was our first real controversy at the fest. The live,
Yeah, well, that was the
live
closest
incident.
we came to not having a show.
We almost didn't have a show that
The,
night.
the rumor went around the crowd like an hour before I even knew what was going
Yeah.
on.
well, they
It was
figured when
like-
Crop Puppies was into like an hour,
Like-
hour and a half, they were
Like-
like, "What's going on?"
when they did "Walking on the Sun" for the third time.
We have nothing left. Anybody
That's
got
so
any?
good, Dave.
We'll take requests.
How about you guys? How about this? Fest question. Who, Lindsay? Do you know this? Who was the first F-bomb at the fest? Was it a rap group? Was it a rock group? Was it
Was it Mayor Tom?
Mayor Tom? Could have been Mayor Tom.
Charlie Daniels.
No, it was not. That's a good guess.
Was it?
not.
It was a country act, though, wasn't it?
No,
No?
it was not. I know Kevin knows. So Dave, do you know?
Salt and pepper.
Bismarcky.
Oh, good.
No, it was not Bismarcky. Bismarcky was later, and he probably cussed. But
Yeah.
this was the first one I remember because we went like
It
5 or
wasn't
6
Smash
years
Mouth.
with no cussing
Yeah.
because we started off like that.
Oh wait,
17 years ago, it wasn't
was it a
appropriate.
fest
Now?
It was in their
performance?
song, and they sang. I asked them not to sing it,
Wow.
and they sang it loud
Oh.
and freaking.
And they were
Was
clear.
it
like,
the-
"Don't worry, Mayor."
Was it the band that you absolutely hate now? Because
No.
That one's coming out later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Kevin, what was it?
Candlebox.
Candlebox.
Because I
forgot.
remember
Good
you
for
asking them
them.
not
Yeah.
to do it.
They were great, by the way. I didn't care.
Which
Awesome.
song was it?
It's one of their songs. I don't
Yes,
remember.
it was
it
one of their-
usually is one
No,
of their
John, do you
songs
know?
that they
Anybody?
perform.
I don't. No.
But it's
I bet
in
Scott
the
Rakos
lyric.
will know.
It's
He's
in the
always on
lyric.
chat.
Somebody on chat, please remind us
Was it
with
Far
the
Behind?
lyric.
Maybe-
Far behind, it
yeah,
is.
Maybe Far Behind.
There you
Yeah,
go.
but they say the F word I think twice, and he like screamed it loud. And then of course I got tons of complaints at City Hall because at that time it was unprecedented.
Yep.
Now,
Now it's
now we have
throw
2
it-
chains and stuff like that, and we don't have that problem anymore. Now we
Just
just ask
happens.
you, you might want to just set
Earmuffs.
earmuffs for that night. Yeah.
Candlebox was probably one of my favorites.
They were
I've had
great
out
people,
there.
man.
Yeah.
I remember
They
I
were
liked
just
them a lot.
very energetic.
Well,
Really good
they
show.
went like part of when they get there after they do
Oh.
their sound check.
My handsome husband came in with the correct answer.
Thank you, Brian,
Thank you,
for
Brian.
listening.
What is it?
You. I just Googled
You.
it actually.
Well,
You.
what's the line? What's
Song
the
called-
line?
It's F you. I
Yes.
don't want it no more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
it.
it's mine.
Yeah.
So true.
Yep.
Yeah, John,
Thanks, babe.
I've been saying
Have
that in
fun
my
at
head for
work.
the last 40 minutes.
Yeah. But no, Candlebox, they went to the golf course after they did their sound check.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kevin, the lead singer, gave me his, because a lot of deliveries and like shirts and stuff and different things show up where they're at. And he gave me his cell phone number. And I got to talk, I saw this couple out there, this guy and this girl, older guy, younger girl, you know, out on the fence line since like 7 in the morning. So I walked out there and was talking to him. And it was, I think I told you about this. It was a father and daughter that hadn't seen each other in 18 years.
Wow. See what the
And-
fest does?
Yeah, and they one lived in like Appleton, and the daughter lived in Milwaukee, and they came out there. To make a long story short,
Tell us their life story.
when Kevin came,
He was
The
an
last time
alcoholic.
they met.
He was a Vietnam veteran. like,
But
saw
when
some action
Kevin-
in Nam. Like, you're like 4'8", dude. I've
Yeah,
come to that
I
conclusion.
get
like,
too deep
keep
into these.
digging deeper and
Yeah.
deeper.
So what
I'm
was
so used to writing long
He had
stories now.
one foot.
Yeah.
But anyway, when they came back across,
She was
I
wearing a
told
cotton-
Kevin to stop and talk to them, and he heard their story, and he wanted to put them on stage. But he was real nice to his fans.
Well, that
out
goes
there.
Yeah.
to show you what a good dude he was.
How about this? What was your
Wait,
no? What my biggest show, my favorite show.
favorite show?
How about that?
Of
What's your
all-
favorite show?
Wow.
Favorite
There's
show.
a lot of
My
no,
bands.
like there was mine goes a couple ways. Like for me personally, or like the best performance, like the best concert. Like I have a couple. What's your favorite?
My
Dave?
favorite, as far as music was Travis Tritt, because I'm a hillbilly.
Nice.
I'm a
Was
hillbilly.
that
at heart.
super? That was super
Hillbilly
hot
came
that
out
day, wasn't
again.
it?
He
Was it
came,
super
that was
hot?
the first show
I'm
I
a
think.
professional
Yeah,
hillbilly, so
yeah. He
I
was
think-
he was nice. He was a nice.
That was the first show you had where the guy came out and did his full 3-hour show.
Right. Yeah, he was a nice guy. I liked him.
That
But-
was a while
that
ago.
was a while ago.
Man.
Everclear and Sponge.
Sponge.
They were good.
We talked about Sponge. You remember
I
Sponge?
loved
When
Sublime.
when Pat Moore left and he told me, hey, when Sponge gets here, I want to know. And he says they'll be on a tour bus coming in a Conoline van. It was like you could see
we were
the
just
exhaust.
talking about this. It's so funny, Dave.
You could see the exhaust.
I know how
coming.
much we paid him. It wasn't a lot.
No, it was like $2,000 or $3,000.
So, do you remember anything about that show? I talked about it 2 shows ago. I want to see if our
yeah,
recollections are
you know, to be
consistent.
honest with you, after they get there and they get into their room, you walk up and I say, you want to meet him? And you're like, yeah, let's go in and meet him. And he's like, hey, I hear you guys already met Woerpel. And like all 4 of them looked up. And they're like, you're not related to Mark, are you? And I went, yeah, why? And they go, we used to be his road tech crew.
Come on.
I have a cousin that played in Blackfoot, you know.
No way. Nice.
And
Blackfoot.
Vinny was the drummer in his band,
Uh-huh.
and I forget what the guitar tech's name was, but the thing I remember the most is they were only supposed to do 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And when they first came out, they opened for, Everclear opened for them.
When they first started.
That's right.
And
That
now it was the
night-
other way
the
around.
flip. You're right. It was the
It
flip.
flipped around, and they wouldn't leave the stage, and Everclear
I
was
told you,
getting
man.
pissed.
Yeah, it was crazy. They played like they were the main act. It was a great night for the fans because the fans saw, and the Sponges, they were cool. I
were
liked
good.
them. What was your favorite show, Kev?
I love Sublime. I love the Roots. The Roots.
See,
Roots
you got
from
mine too.
Oh,
The Roots
really?
I think that was the best
Sublime
concert.
was one of my. I always
They're
liked
so
Sublime, even
talented.
like way before Rome. Obviously, and Rome was. Thank God for Rome, right? Because he kept the band going.
Yeah, he's
he was
great,
great.
too.
Good
Great guy,
dude.
too, yeah.
yeah. And I just thought that was like a packed show. That show was packed.
I scouted that band. So that was a huge moment for me. In fact, I have it hanging on my wall at home. The picture of them on stage. That was a huge night for me.
When we
personally.
get my brother on, we got to have him tell
Yeah,
the story
man,
about
for
Sublime
sure.
and how he saw him as a
You didn't like the Spin Doctors when I said, hey, Kevin, these guys
need a ride to the casino.
these guys need a ride to dinner. Where do you know there's a place open? And you took them to the casino.
Nice.
I drove the Spin Doctors.
Nice. Did you?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Marissa
We were
met,
low on drivers that
Marissa
night,
met the
apparently.
Spin Doctors and Collective Soul at the same time.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the funny thing is, Collective
night,
Soul.
too.
I think if you take a step back and look at both groups, Spin Doctors had a couple hits.
Sure.
Collective Soul was huge.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
touring band and all
Yeah.
that.
Love
so like,
Collective Soul.
if you meet
They were
them,
good.
like proper music protocol means you pay attention to the bigger act, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was so funny with Marissa. She didn't recognize Collective Soul at all. She didn't, but she recognized the dude from the Spin Doctors. So we're like introducing her, and she's literally got her back to the Collective Soul, dude.
Oh, no.
And she's the whole time just sitting there hanging out with the Spin Doctors. I'm like, Marissa, like that's the opening act. You're supposed to be over here. It was so funny.
I remember
kind of
when
like
she's
when
got
you thought the
preference.
roadie was Two
She did.
Chains.
I remember when you had.
That was
Oh,
funny. Can I?
no.
Go ahead.
So
He's asking me,
you
Kenny,
remember
on
this?
his show.
Remember
He's a locomotive.
the roadie for 2 Chainz? I get there. This is so
Oh,
funny.
that was great.
Classic.
This is so funny. I'm sitting
So
there,
classic Tom.
and I'm like hanging out with this dude, and I thought it was 2 Chainz. And
Yeah,
I'm
you did.
hanging, and the dude was playing into it. So like I'm hanging with this guy for like a half hour.
You're
my
like,
God.
he's on stage like pointing at him like this, like, hey,
Everybody's-
look, everybody.
He's literally yelling, "Hey, 2 Chainz," and this guy's answering him.
So like
Oh, my
I'm up on
gosh.
stage,
It
and
looks
then
nothing like Two Chains, by the way.
so we go out there, and everybody's
Shows
like
how
clapping.
familiar with 2 Chainz.
They're like,
guys.
ah! Like him and I are walking on stage, and I'm like pointing to him, like, check me out, hanging with 2 Chainz. Everybody's like, ah! And then like Marissa gets there.
no, she's texting you.
Yeah, no. She gets there, and I'm like, hey, you want to come meet 2 Chainz? And then she comes up. She's like, as soon as she sees him, she's like, that's not 2 Chainz. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's fucking 2 Chainz. I've been hanging with this dude for half hour. She's like, Tom, that is not 2 Chainz. And
It
I
might
look
have
at him
been
again.
Twista, but it wasn't.
It
2
wasn't
It
Chainz.
wasn't
Twista
Twister.
either.
I know Twister.
It was a
But I
roadie.
look at him, and I'm like, this guy's got no freaking chains on him, right?
That's it.
He's like, I've
There's
been
the
following
giveaway.
this dude around. He's got
He's no
nothing.
chains.
He's
No
no
chains.
chains. And
No
I'm like,
chains.
and then it was so embarrassing.
Then you like
know,
finally met Two Chains. We were like, man, that doesn't look like Two Chains.
You know, the one that blew my mind was when Marissa and her sister went in to see LL Cool J.
Yeah, man, he was cool.
And they were standing outside, and they were
That was a
talking
good
about.
show.
I wonder if he remembers. And they brought up something that happened
Trisha
in
met
New York
yeah,
City
a long time ago, right?
And
he
so
remembered the gig. He
yeah.
didn't remember her, obviously.
LL.
Yeah.
That I forgot about LL. That was a great show.
Awesome guy,
Yeah.
man.
So
Oh,
phenomenal.
That
Sweetheart.
was he was great. I mean, but when they walked into the room, they brought that up, and he remembered that.
Yeah,
Remember that?
right? Yeah,
That's-
Trisha met him a long
yeah.
time ago, and he remembered the gig. Yeah, but so the Roots, my favorite concert, right?
They were phenomenal.
How about you guys, Lindsay, John? Favorite concert, like not necessarily.
I really liked Sugar Ray the first time.
Oh
we
my
went
God, I
there.
love Sugar Ray.
also
What
good.
a
I remember,
great
like,
guy.
What's the lead
standing-
singer?
Mark McGrath.
Yeah.
He was
McGrath.
phenomenal.
Oh, he's
Awesome.
so. And then the DJ gave me his glasses, and they were like super blinged out. They're still in a box somewhere.
Really? I didn't know
yeah.
that.
And then like I was standing for the show. I was standing in front of their big like stack tower of speakers, and you could like feel the
Oh, yeah, you
bass
could
like
feel it,
going
yeah.
through your body.
That guy was a badass.
Every single person in that band was just
Such
so
a nice guy.
nice.
He was just hanging out.
Dude,
I remember him hanging
Sugar
with
Ray.
you.
We went to the bar with him.
I know.
Yeah,
I was
that's
told
right.
I had to go home. I was 18,
Yeah,
so I couldn't.
we
go.
went to what's that bar? God dang, I'm like
Flat Rock.
Flat
Oh,
Rock.
Flat Rock.
Jeez, Pete, I'm
Yeah.
blanking here. I don't go to bars, obviously.
I know, and you guys like were like I had to go home with like old family
We went to Flat
members,
Rock,
and
walked
you
in
guys
with a
went and
rock star.
partied
I'll
with
never
him.
forget that. It
And he
was
was
like,
happy to be there.
dude, he was so cool.
And
like
he's so
that guy could run
handsome.
for office. You know what? Honestly,
I
that's the
think you
kind of
said that
guy.
to him.
I did. I was like, dude.
qualified and
First
smart.
off, the only reason he liked me is because of my last name. Because he's a big Irish guy. He's got Irish tattoos all over. I went to Notre Dame. I got an Irish name. I'm a mayor. So like instant liking. Him and I hung. And then the first time we partied like hard. And then the second time he got there,
He was a little older.
he had like a girlfriend that was like, or a wife that was like watching him, and he was like a good boy the second
And
time.
I think he
Yeah.
had fun the night before.
You're like, hey,
yeah.
don't you remember? Let's go out, right? Are
Yeah,
we going
dude, we were
out?
ready. We were like,
I
this
know.
guy likes to party, and it was like, wah, wah.
I was disappointed because I had just turned 21
Yeah,
when
right.
they came back for the second time, and I was like, yeah, this time I get to party with like Sugar Ray, and then he was
And
like,
it wound
we're
up
going
being
home.
Uncle Cracker, I think.
Yeah,
right.
John, who was your favorite concert?
Limp Bizkit in the Rain.
Oh yeah,
That was a
was
good
a-
one.
There's so
Limp
many
Bizkit in the
people,
Rain
John, that
was
agree
badass.
with you.
That was an amazing
solid.
concert. I was a humongous fan after that show. Humongous. Like,
Yeah.
first off, everybody was telling us Fred Durst was going to be a total pain.
Yeah.
I found it exactly the
Oh, no,
opposite.
I agree.
He's an
I thought he was
excellent
100%
person.
opposite.
He was awesome.
Such a good dude.
100%
He was awesome.
You know what?
I know
So nice.
everybody was telling us, "Oh, you're gonna hate it." Fred Durst is such a pain in the butt.
He's
was.
just very detail oriented about his
By
band.
the way, he's an
What's
artist.
wrong with that?
We know some artists that are detail oriented,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes,
the
we
guy's
do.
the guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Fred Durst was awesome, and
He just-
the band was cool. They hung out at 18th Street like a
Yeah.
couple of the days they were here.
Wow.
He's just very particular about the way things have
That's
to go
right.
down.
That's
and
right.
There's nothing wrong
God
with
bless.
that
By the
was
way,
one
that's
of
why
them.
he's there.
Yeah.
That was one of them deals where the sound guys were like, you can't look this guy in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look away from him, this and that. So when when all the
Dave's like-
stage hands are
Dave's
ready
shaking.
there, when all the stage hands are, standing there while he's getting out of the van, I'm like, don't look at him. Don't look at him. Don't look at him. He'll leave. And he's
Avert your
walking up,
eyes.
shaking their
Yeah,
hands. Hey, and
he was
he's
a
like,
badass.
hey, something wrong with you guys or something?
Yeah,
What did
we,
you
we
do?
won't look you in the eye like Medusa.
And they're coming back this
I'm
year,
gonna turn to
which
stone.
is exciting. If you didn't see John, right? If you didn't see Limp Bizkit in the Rain last time, Come see him.
I felt
hope it's gonna
cheated.
be in the sun.
See him
they
in
were
the
killing
rain
it.
this
Yeah.
time.
They were
I-
killing it. They were killing it, and then they had the amp blew up.
Yeah.
right in the middle of the show. It was pouring. It was like a total downpour.
And these guys were like, we're playing.
it was
We're
so
playing.
awesome. Like it was a summer rain, but it was drenching summer rain. It
We
was
were
so,
pleading
I
with them to
worked
go
that
on a
year. It
half
was
hour
awful.
early, and they refused to because they wanted to play.
And they
in
wanted
the
to get their
storm.
fans there,
Right.
And you'll see if you look on like the festival's Facebook page or anything that discusses Limp Bizkit, just search it. You will see so many people are like, that is a memory that I'll never
I won't
forget.
either.
Everybody that was there.
Wes Borland throwing his guitar halfway across
Tell
the
it,
street.
Tom. Tell
because
the
it
story
kept blowing
about
up.
MC Hammer.
Well, storms, right?
Oh,
yeah. Storms are always. We have rain insurance. Kevin, talk about the rain insurance, and we'll talk about some storms.
Yeah,
some
so this
famous
is,
storms.
this
we
is
had.
something we learned about kind of halfway through the fest. I don't know, maybe
The
10 years in.
It was
or
the
something.
OJ's first time. Funny enough.
Yeah, and
Every
so
year
we
it
lost the
rains.
show.
You
but
can-
like
you can
it does
insure-
not. That's the funny thing.
You can insure for
When we-
rain, and when it rains, they pay. It's not like, oh, did you make any money? Did you do this? It's like if it rains, they pay the insurance.
Half an inch.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
rain.
so
and a
it's
half.
great.
So
has
it would rain like
quarter.
0.45, a quarter. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would just barely miss, and we'd get nothing.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it would rain, and we get paid.
And they
Like,
still pay, so it's great.
It's like a gamble, but
It
we don't.
is. Yeah,
but
we
with-
didn't cash 2
It's-
years ago, right?
Yeah, they make money some years, we make money some
Right.
years.
It's like
so.
gambling.
With
It's
them,
over.
with Hammer though, he tried like hell to get that set done because he had one song to go.
Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, well, he was in the middle of Too Legit when I got struck by lightning. But all he had to
I
go
don't remember you getting struck by
well,
lightning,
was
but we'll
the,
let it run.
the
It's a
water
podcast.
hit it. The water.
It's a
it hit the
podcast. We'll let
water,
that.
yeah.
We'll let that go.
But he had Can't Touch This left to go, and he couldn't finish it,
Yeah.
and he was upset.
It was
He-
funny that he stopped on Too Legit to Quit.
And then he quit.
Too Legit to Quit. I'm out. See you guys.
It's raining. No, it wasn't. That's an understatement.
Dude.
I don't want to give MC Hammer a bad name. It was.
the storm that was
It
coming
was a
in.
monsoon.
Like you see like on the it's like pink, and then it goes like
mean
red
like on the app?
and then it's like when you see storms coming in, you see like a storm is like red,
Right.
So like it's pink is like light, and then like darker red, and then it's like red to the
Purple.
point where it's like black, and then purple, and then there's like another. It's like snow. It looks like white. It's
like a
it's
color.
like so dense.
So
it's
dangerous.
Like, it's like a snowstorm coming in right in the middle of. It was. I've never seen it. It was like a humongous white cloud coming in on my app, and I've never seen white on my app other than blizzards, right? And this thing's coming right at us, and we wanted to get
Bad
the show in
news.
because we were killing it that night. MC Hammer, it was like having the
It was
Jacksons there.
unbelievable.
It was
I
so
believe
packed,
that was
right?
the first show at the new pavilion. Too.
Yes,
Could
it
have been.
was.
I think you're right. That year.
So
Yeah.
so we cut the show off like right as soon as we were like, I went up on stage right after we kept the mic live, and I was like, "You
Get to
guys
your
got to
car."
leave right
Yes.
now!" Like
Yes.
there's a storm, and it was obvious. The wind was blowing, you could tell. And then like when that rain
it
hit,
was so
my
bad.
Oh, and all the
dude.
people who had
Dangerous.
to walk home,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
like in the 7-Eleven
You could see it
there
coming
by the
across
fire
the lake.
station. Like
It was bad.
packed.
We were standing on the back of the stage, and you could see that wave coming right across
was-
the back of the lake.
it was bad.
But you remember what
Too
happened?
legit
the
to
next-
quit,
Tsunami.
and he quit. It was
Remember what
like a
happened the next
tsunami.
night?
Wolf
It's a
Lake
gnarly night.
was on the stage.
What's that?
We had Eli Young out there, and it just started drizzling, and the sound guys unplugged everything and shut the show down, and you got
That
me.
was probably my last country night right there.
Well,
Actually, it was Charlie Daniels, to be honest with you.
I think people are excited
Charlie
about
Daniels
the fest,
what?
for sure.
Charlie Daniels was the last country band to play there.
Oh, was that
until-
before
Yeah,
After
it was.
Big and
You're
Rich?
right.
Yeah.
It
That
was.
was the last one?
You know, I know when it was because it was right before Trump took over. It was
Oh, so it was
2016.
15 or 16. Oh, you're right, because Charlie Daniels
Because he
the
was
Trump
talking
guy.
about
Yeah,
Trump,
yeah, yeah.
huge Trumper.
Uh-huh.
By the way, and like sweet guy. He wasn't an asshole about
Didn't he
it.
send you
Yeah.
you get
hat.
a
Yeah.
hat,
Yeah.
right? That's
He's
right.
like-
very cool.
Hey John, what size hat do you have?
I don't know.
He's like,
Exactly.
7 and a
Mayor,
quarter. 7 and a quarter.
what size head do you have? I'm like, I have no idea. I have
Is it
normal.
measured in, like,
He's like, real? What
inches
size is it?
across?
I'm like, I don't know. So he's like, come here, and I go over there,
Yeah.
and he goes, puts his fingers around my head, and then he puts his fingers around his head. He's like, you're the same size as me. I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, I got a present coming for you.
I'll never forget
A month
that.
later, I got a Charlie Daniels.
I know my
signed
hat size from baseball. Yeah, you had to be like, what
but
size are you?
They're on stage, and the manager's going, "Hey, what size is the mayor's head?" And I go,
That would be-
I know the guy well, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know about this size.
yeah.
You're like,
why?
same
And he
size
goes-
as Charlie Daniels.
There you go.
He brought him over, and he did exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I know it's still 6 weeks from the fest, but this has been like a show where it's gotten me pretty pumped up, especially because John's a huge live music guy. I know Lindsay is, and all of us are. It's exciting to know that live music's coming
It's
back.
been over an hour.
It's
Thank
so
God.
exciting, right? I mean, I know John's already making plans for shows. This
Sammy
is going to be
Hagar,
great.
though, I mean,
Sammy
that's-
Hagar and Friends is going to be great. So
Don't
Mayor,
forget,
we're-
like if you're looking at VIP experience tickets, you should probably order them now. and not wait until the end.
festivaloftheLakes.com.
Yep. It's been a great show. I want to thank my mailman, my former mailman, my retired mailman, Dave Woerpel, for coming in. My
you.
council president, my friend. Thanks for coming by, David.
Appreciate it.
We
Anytime.
appreciate you being here. Notorious LMP, awesome job, honey. Appreciate you.
Buddy.
Thank you,
And I didn't say buddy, I said honey.
Oh, honey.
All right.
bud.
But Jay Vez, appreciate you, man. Great job. And Kevin, we pulled it off.
Thank you.
Last night we were sitting here.
It was iffy.
We had nothing. There was no news going on. We had nothing, and we came
When
up
you
with the
got
show.
nothing,
Just
call
happy, we're just
Woerpel.
happy Werpel's retired now.
And at least we're not screaming at our audience like WMCD does, right?
Yes, we've avoided that.
That's right.
Good
So
work.
thanks, everybody. We'll see you on
Thank you.
Friday. We're going to do a funny show on the triathlon, getting ready for the tri.
Yes.
It's the last show before the tri, so I'll see
We'll
you
get
on
Tommy's
Friday.
wetsuit.
Take care, everybody.